Hi, so this is the project I've been working on. It's a MCP tool for software engineers to help scope context. So instead of searching throughout your entire code base and just using everything as RAG, which is how it works now with Cursor and Windsurf and such, I'm building a tool that allows you to scope your context. So I can select my files and give some weight to my files or something like that. Okay, and then I can add that to my rag. That's just it'll take a moment to build, but I've just selected a few things for the IDE, Windsurf or Cursor, whatever, to focus on, and then. So that's part of it. And so the other part of this is the epistemic trace mechanism that I've built. So not only does it get very specific things that you want to add to the rag, it also gives this high level understanding of everything in your code base. So okay, so it queued up a whole bunch of files that were your entire code base, and it does a trace, and I've got it. So Ulama is running on the back end, and let's see if I can see this quickly. And so you can set your embedding model, which is pneumatic embed text, and that does the embeddings for the rag, and then I've got two different LLMs that do some work while you're working, and then a compression model if needed. This one is a little bit expensive. It uses like 14 gigabytes of VRAM, so I'll get to that. So in the graph scope here, we've got it. It's got two phases. The first one quickly goes through it, uses the 3B Ulama model, which is Mestral is the one that I'm using, and then it does the trace. It does a complete cross-reference of your entire code base. It finds the your design files, your MD files, all of your thinking. It traces that back to the code base itself, and then it's got these small files that are part of the rag as well. So this quickly does that. This goes through in about 10 minutes or so the first time, and then this will go through everything much slower, because this is sort of the deep reasoning part, so that it embeds it again. So it embeds it the first time, and then it embeds it the second time. But this second time it goes through and really does a deep understanding. But this is a little bit more expensive, so that it'll run either scheduled or auto if you want, or just you run it manually. And then, so this is the way that it works. You press the initialize button, and then it runs through all of these. So we'll just let this run. And then while I'm letting this run, I'll just run through this quickly. So it's an MCP, so you connect it to your IDE, and then in your chat window, right, you can just call coderag, and it has all of this context. The last thing to cover is the Clara model. So that is a compression model. So that makes it so I can cram all of this context really easily into the context window. And it's not confusing the model because it doesn't include everything in your code, but it does run this. This is the graph part of this, which is what we're working on over here. It does include that summarized epistemic relationship of everything. So it's got this high level part of the understanding. It's got the code that you're specifically adding to it, and then it's got the docs that you're specifically adding to it.